We might have just got a major update on a potential Tyler Herro extension. We'll talk all about that on today's show. I am Nic Rohloff. This is the Heat Report by Chat Sports. And before we get into what that major update actually is, I do want to remind people, in case you forgot, about the information surrounding a potential extension. Herro is eligible this offseason, but it has to be signed in a very specific window between October 1st and October 20th. If he does not sign an extension in that time frame, he no longer can sign one until the following offseason. The max extension he could sign this October is a 3-year, $149.7 million deal. That's maximum. Doesn't have to be that. And as I mentioned, if he waits until next year, that number then changes to a 4-year, $206.9 million contract extension. That number could go way up if Tyler Herro makes an All-NBA team. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But I want to make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we will have the Tyler Herro situation covered. When it is October 1st, we will be making a video keeping our eyes open. Subscribe now for updates between now and then and when the season gets underway in October as well. So the update comes from 5 Reasons Sports Network Greg Sylvander, who responded to when the Mikal Bridges extension came in. He said that with Mikal Bridges getting 4 years, $150 million, you can bet Tyler Herro, particularly if he has back-to-back seasons at the heightened efficiency, is going to ask for well north of that salary. I expect he will want 41 or 42 million per year at least. Now, I do want to note, Greg does not know this for sure. This is more of a projection from him, so I want to make sure you guys get that as well. It's not reported in fact. But a couple thoughts with what Greg had to say. The wording that he said there seems like there is no extension this year. Remember, that little quote said, especially if he has back-to-back efficient years that have been heightened. Back-to-back. Well, he's only done it once. So is he insinuating that he thinks Herro will not be extended this October and it will wait till the following offseason? That's something to monitor. But my second thought here, $41 or $42 million to me per season is the perfect range for Tyler Herro. I do not want to pay him $49.9 million. I do not want to pay him north of $50 million or $50 million. I think around the $40 million threshold is where we should expect Tyler Herro to come in. And I did want to show you the Mikal Bridges extension that he signed with the New York Knicks. It does not kick in until the following season. He was under contract this year. But when it kicks in, it goes 33.4 mil, 36.1, 38.8, and then $41.5 million in 2030. He does have a player option in that deal. So when you think of potentially an extension for Tyler Herro, slightly more than what Mikal Bridges got does make sense. Now, Mikal Bridges did take a slight pay cut, by the way. When I say slight, I think it was overblown in NBA media when they reported he took a pay cut. He took $6 million less. The max contract extension he could have had was 4 years for $156 million. Whoopee. $6 million isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. But when you look at his AAV averaging around $37.5 million, that is a little bit less than what I think Herro should make. I think Herro should be at that 40 range, so $2.5 million more than Mikal Bridges. And that does mean that, in my opinion, I think Tyler Herro is the better player than Mikal Bridges. But I want to know your thoughts. Who is a better player? Is it Tyler Herro or is it Mikal Bridges? Because I think Herro should get paid slightly more, not much, just slightly, than Bridges. Which one do you think is the better NBA player? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Well, when you look at their careers, Mikal Bridges has one thing over Tyler Herro for certain, and that is his ability to stay on the basketball court. Mikal Bridges is actually the modern-day Iron Man, if you will. You look back at what he's done in his career, he has played 82 games in the regular season for 4 straight seasons, spanning from 21-22 to this past year from the Knicks. He has played one more year than Tyler. He was drafted in 2018-2019 season. Herro is in the 2019-2020 season. But Tyler is better in almost every statistical category, despite playing almost 200 less games. in his career. The only thing that Herro trails him is his field goal percent. He's a better three-point shooter. He's a better playmaker. He's surprisingly a better rebounder, and he's certainly a better scorer. They are actually polar opposites, which is kind of a funny way to look at this. Mikal Bridges, what is his role in the NBA? A connecting piece who is known for staying on the basketball court consistently and being one of the best perimeter and wing defenders in the NBA due to his long wingspan and disruptive ability, but also very capable of knocking down a three-point shot. Tyler Herro, someone who has been injury prone, is very deficient defensively, but is an offensive igniter and bucket getter. That is not what Mikal Bridges is. So it's hilarious that they're honestly on the absolute polar opposite of NBA players. And I will say this. This is not new information coming from me, by the way. I have consistently said the entire offseason, every time I've been asked, every time I've talked about a Tyler Herro extension, I would pay him $40 million per year on an annual average value. I am not going to do 50. 40 million feels right to me. If it's 41 or 42 per year, okay, not really going to overreact. It's $1 or $2 million per season more. But I am not breaking the bank giving a max contract extension to Herro due to his inability to perform in the playoffs at this point in his career, as well as there only being 1 year of sample size of him being a focal point of an offense, being efficient, and playing in 70-plus games. I need to see it more if I'm extending him right now. And I actually said that when I reacted to the extension news. And when Greg originally reported about that potential figure with Herro's extension, 41, 42 million at least, I said I was fine with that. Honestly, a descending extension would make the most sense for Miami, in my opinion, give them more money up front on an AAV basis, because as time goes on, that will feed better into the CBA as the cap continues to go higher. It will also make you more flexible to acquire a third star alongside him and Bam. So if I was giving him an extension, to me, I would really like to give him a 3-year, $120 million deal instead of 3 for 150. Start with 42 mil per year, 40 in the second year, and $38 million in the final year, if Miami and Tyler ironed out a contract extension this October. But they, might wait till next offseason. And the only concern I have with potentially waiting till next season, which is where I'm balancing, right? Like, I am not the biggest fan of extending him now this October, but I do understand why Miami may want to jump on this potentially now rather than wait. Because if he does make the All-NBA team this upcoming year, whether it's first, second, or third team, due to escalators in the CBA, he would then command about a 5-year, $380 million extension. Now, that does not mean you have to give him that, but he then becomes eligible for that as his max extension rather than the 4 for $206.9 million max extension we showcased a little bit earlier. And with the East being wide open, injuries to Tyrese Halliburton, injuries to Jason Tatum, there is a little bit of a chance where that comes into play. We'll talk a little bit more, but make sure you get this Heat hoodie because I do not know how much longer it will still be on this insane sale. 56% off, usually $120, available right now for $53 when you go to chatsports.com/heat sale. Links in the description and comments of today's video. Grab yours before the sale expires. When you think about Herro making the All-NBA team, I still do think it is incredibly unlikely. Now, I think it would have actually been more likely in the old days of the All-NBA voting. If you remember, in the old days, there are 2 guards on each NBA team, 2 wings, and a center. So that makes it a little bit more kind of, I guess, selective for positions. But now, it's just the 15 best players. So it's the 5 best players voted on, second 5, third 5. So Herro would have to be a top 15 player in the NBA this upcoming year, which I don't think really could happen. But as I mentioned, no Tatum, no Damian Lillard, no Halliburton. All 3 of those guys are all NBA level dudes over the past couple of years. So if Herro was a 18 and 20, 25 type of guy, well, now he's inching closer to that 15 number. All it would take maybe is a down year for another player, another injury to strike, and then Herro's right there flirting with that third team All NBA, which would then escalate his max extension. It's not insane to think it's possible. I do think it's more likely than not that he doesn't make All NBA. I'd probably float it at 75% chance he doesn't make All NBA, 25% he does. But I do want to take this chance while we're on the subject of Tyler Herro to bring up another positive lens here. Instead of talking about the financial aspect of Herro, I want to showcase this. It came across my desk late this week on Thursday. Is Tyler Herro a better playmaker than we actually thought? According to B-Ball Index Advanced Stats, when you look at his playmaking, he ranked in the 95th percentile in talent, 93rd percentile in creation volume, 87th percentile in creation quality, 94th percentile in passing efficiency, 94th percentile in on-ball gravity, and 86th percentile in assist points per 75 possessions. Tyler Herro was transitioned from a score-first mentality guard in the two-guard spot to more of the offensive creator for Miami in the pseudo-point guard for this basketball team. And even though I don't love that he was forced to do it this past year, I did feel as he got better as the year went on. And it might actually be the plan for the Miami Heat to transition Tyler to more of an on-ball creator, point guard type of mindset guy. Not to say they're going to take away that shot first scoring guard mentality. They're just going to ask him to initiate the offense way more. And this is not something that is uncommon in the NBA. We've seen James Harden go from the best shooting guard in the NBA to now essentially a point guard. We've seen Anthony Edwards early in his career already take this small transition from two guard into, well, he's creating a lot more. He's now as a one almost initiating most of the offense. I think Tyler is on that same trajectory. And he had a very up and down first season in that kind of transition. You look at his month-to-month assists per games, month-to-month turnover per games. There were a lot of up and downs. It was a roller coaster, obviously. Now, it doesn't help him that he had to go through the Jimmy Butler saga as the team did, and you were anticipating Jimmy being with you all year long. But there have been really high flashes. You look at February. He averaged 7 assists per night in those 11 games. Now, the turnovers per game did spike up as well, but he was really creating for teammates. But as the year went on, the turnovers kind of limited a little bit. 2.2 in March, which was very, very nice. And in the season, it was 5.5 assists per night, 2.6 turnovers. The issue with Herro were obviously those turnovers, infuriating at times during the season that he was turning the ball over so much. In February and March, when the Heat were playing the worst basketball they were all season long, when they went on that 10-game losing streak, and I basically said, chalk it up, let's focus on the lottery pick. Now, we obviously know they made the playoffs as the 8th seed, and they drafted Jokic Jonas to pick 20 with the Warriors selection. But Herro almost dictated how Miami played. When Herro was turning the ball over, the Heat were losing games in that month of February and month of March. When he was taking care of it a little bit better, well, the Heat were doing a lot better. So it was tough and a lot to put on his plate because there wasn't a lot of help for him offensively during the year. But man, it really was indicative of how he played when it comes to if the Heat were winning games or not. So here's the final question on today's show as we showcase the uptick in playmaking and maybe a better feel for him going forward than we initially thought and everything between Bridges' contract and the report from Greg. Do you want to extend Tyler Herro right now in the month of October? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Final word. I am not trying to get Tyler Herro off of this roster. I like Tyler a lot. I think he could be a winning piece, a part of this organization. I think it would just take the right number one option alongside him and Bam. I am unsure, and I would probably say Herro stands no chance to be a number one option on a title team. I'm staying consistent on this, though. I am not extending him in October. I got to see it one more year. This was the first year that Herro was able to play 70-plus games and be a focal point of a team. Can he stay healthy for another season? Can he be an efficient 24-point per game scorer for a back-to-back season? If he does it for 2 years in a row of playing 70-plus games, being efficient, and leading this team in scoring, all right, I give him his money. But I got to see it a second time. I'm not getting got by a 1-year sample size, and I'm staying consistent on that. So if anyone asks me going forward, it's going to be my answer every single time. And if you want more around the Miami Heat, this is the channel for you. Subscribe today for daily Heat coverage. I'm Nic Rohloff. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on today's show. We'll have more content coming out soon, so join the channel.